Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really powerful idea for business leaders. We're talking about why Agentic AI isn't just another tool you buy, but a true compounding asset, and why the cost of waiting to get started is way, way higher than you might think.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this quote because it hits the nail on the head. So many leaders see AI as, a switch you flip or a project you just complete. But that view completely misses the boat on this new class of AI. We're talking about agentic AI, which doesn't just follow a script. It can actually make its own decisions and learn from them to hit a goal.
So, here's the crucial mental shift you have to make. Stop thinking of AI as a feature, something static that, like a new car, starts losing value the second you buy it. You need to start seeing it as a capability that appreciates. An agentic system doesn't just do a task once, it learns from it. The longer it's running in your business, the smarter it gets and the more valuable it becomes.
So, how does this compounding thing actually work in the real world? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a pretty predictable cycle of improvement that you can literally measure quarter after quarter. Let's just walk through the learning cycle. In its first quarter, you can think of the AI as just watching. It's observing how your business really works, all the patterns, the bottlenecks, the little exceptions. By Q2, it's ready to start making small decisions, chipping away at manual work. Then, something really important happens in Q3. Your teams start to trust it because it's just consistently reliable. And by the fourth quarter and beyond, it's not a tool anymore. It's become this quiet, invisible intelligence layer that your operations just depend on.
And this chart just makes the whole point crystal clear. Look at traditional automation. Its value is totally flat. But agentic AI, its value compounds. It gets stronger with every single interaction, every process it runs, every decision it makes. You're building a capability that actually grows.
It really is that simple. This is the complete opposite of a depreciating asset like a piece of factory equipment. The longer you have agentic AI embedded in your business, the more valuable it gets, period.
Now, this whole compounding effect brings us to a really critical point for any leader. If this AI's value literally grows over time, what does that mean if you decide to wait?
Seriously, think about it. If this capability gets better and better, building on itself every single quarter, what are the actual stakes of not starting this journey right now? Our source here puts it so bluntly, and it's important to hear. This isn't about falling behind on some tech trend. This is about permanently, irreversibly losing cycles of learning and value that you can never, ever get back. And that number says it all, doesn't it? 0. Once those learning cycles are gone, they are gone for good. Every quarter you're on the sidelines is a permanent loss of potential value for your company. Waiting is not a neutral act. It's an act of loss. Okay, but here's where the story gets really, really interesting. Who actually benefits most from this compounding effect? Because the answer is probably not who you think.
You know, there's this huge irony here. We all think of AI as a startup advantage, right? But that's not the case with agentic AI. The truth is, the very structure of a mature, stable business is the absolute perfect environment for this kind of AI to learn, to adapt, and to compound its value at incredible speed.
Mature companies have 4 massive advantages that basically act like rocket fuel for agentic AI. Let's break down each one. First up, stable processes. Let's be honest, startups are often chaotic, right? Their workflows are constantly changing. But mature companies, you have structured, repeatable processes. That consistency is exactly what an AI needs to sharpen its skills with every cycle, instead of having to constantly relearn the basics from scratch. Second, historical data. You probably have years, maybe even decades of operational history. Transactions, customer behavior, financial cycles. Startups have none of that. This deep well of data is the perfect training ground for an AI to learn what normal looks like in your business, which makes it incredibly good at spotting what isn't. Third, predictable rhythms. Established companies operate on these clear cadences, right? You have your monthly closes, your quarterly targets, your seasonal trends. These predictable rhythms are like a metronome for the AI, giving it reliable patterns to train against. And that means it improves its accuracy way faster. And finally, advantage number 4, you already have governance. Mature companies have controls, policies, reporting lines. This might sound a little boring, but it's actually a secret weapon.
This framework is exactly what an agentic AI needs to operate safely, which massively accelerates trust, and that trust is what accelerates adoption and value.
So let's bring this all home. What does this all mean for a leader who's thinking about their legacy and the future of the company they've built?
Look, adopting agentic AI is not just another innovation project. This is a fundamental structural decision. You're embedding an intelligence layer into the very foundation of your business, one that's designed to ensure stability and smooth operations long after there's a leadership transition.
And I think this quote just frames it perfectly. You're essentially handing over a company that already has a compounding momentum built into it. Instead of leaving behind a giant to-do list of transformation projects for the next leader, you're leaving a business that gets smarter all by itself.
And that really leaves us with this one final crucial question. For any leader focused on their legacy, the opportunity here is to make a decision today that will become more and more valuable every single quarter, strengthening the company long after you're no longer in the chair. This isn't about disruption for disruption's sake. This is about preservation done right.